Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. It's Thursday, February 12th, 2026, and we're tracking a very active weather pattern setting up across Europe once again. Let's begin with the big picture. We're watching a developing low-pressure system over the Mediterranean that will organize and move towards southeastern Europe as we head into the weekend. At the same time, northern Europe is starting to wake up. After several weeks where most of the action stayed to the south, we are now seeing the northern jet stream becoming more energized. That shift is important. So we essentially have two storm tracks to follow, one across the south, bringing heavy rain and flood concerns, and another across the north, increasing snow chances from Ireland through the UK and into Scandinavia. First, let's talk about the southern system. What remains of Storm Nils is still producing impacts, especially across Portugal, Spain, and parts of France. Even though the storm is weakening, the atmosphere remains saturated. Rivers are already elevated, and it will not take much additional rainfall to trigger flooding problems. Unfortunately, more rain is on the way. As we move into Friday, a new low begins to organize over the western Mediterranean. This system is not expected to be as intense as the previous one, but it will still be impactful. Rain spreads across Corsica and into Italy by late Friday, becoming heavier as we move into Saturday. The key feature here is a strengthening circulation, a visible spin in the atmosphere that enhances rainfall across central and southern Italy. Some areas could see persistent downpours. With saturated ground conditions, flash flooding and river flooding become a real concern. By Saturday night into Sunday, this same system lifts northeast into the Balkans. Slovenia and Croatia will sit near the edge of the heaviest precipitation, but farther south, especially Croatia's southern coast, Montenegro, Albania, and parts of Greece, rainfall totals could become significant. The storm does not simply move straight east. Instead, it pivots northward slightly, which allows rain to extend into Romania, Hungary, and even toward Slovakia. That northward shift is part of the broader pattern change we've been discussing. Colder air pressing southward, while southern moisture surges northward. Now let's shift north. Colder than average air is settling across northern Europe. While temperatures overall have been slightly milder than normal this winter, this incoming cold pocket is enough to support accumulating snow in several regions. A new disturbance moving in from the North Atlantic will approach Ireland on Saturday. Initially, some areas may see snow, especially across higher elevations and northern sections. However, in parts of Ireland, that snow could mix or change to rain fairly quickly. Northern Ireland may see a few centimeters of accumulation. Scotland has the better chance for more significant snowfall, with localized totals approaching 15 centimeters over the next several days. As the system pushes eastward, snow spreads across parts of England and Wales before transitioning to rain in some lower elevations. Farther north and east, Belgium, the Netherlands, Denmark, and northern Germany, we will monitor closely for snow potential, depending on exact temperatures. Scandinavia also turns more active. Norway could see accumulating snow by Sunday night, with some areas approaching 20 centimeters over the coming week. Denmark may also pick up measurable snow as this pattern continues to evolve. In the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, snowfall totals between 10 and 18 centimeters are possible over the next 6 to 7 days. Now let's talk totals in the mountains. The Alps remain a snowfall hotspot. Over the next week, some higher elevations in Switzerland and northern Italy could exceed 100 centimeters of snow. Austria will see lower totals compared to Switzerland, but still respectable accumulations in higher terrain. In the Balkans mountains, some areas may exceed 20 centimeters as multiple rounds of precipitation move through. Back to rainfall, because this is a major concern. Italy could see more than 100 millimeters of rain in several regions. Some parts of the Balkans may approach or even exceed 150 millimeters through the weekend. That is enough to trigger flooding, not only along rivers, but also through rapid runoff, especially in urban and mountainous areas. France and portions of the Iberian Peninsula remain vulnerable. Even moderate rainfall amounts could cause renewed river rises. So, to summarize, Storm Nils continues to weaken but still produces residual impacts. A new Mediterranean low strengthens Friday into Saturday, bringing heavy rain to Italy and the Balkans. Northern Europe becomes more active with snow potential increasing from Ireland to Scandinavia. The Alps remain a major snow zone. Flooding remains a serious concern across southern Europe. This is a dynamic, shifting pattern, and it marks the transition toward a more active northern storm track. We'll continue monitoring rainfall totals, snow potential, and wind gusts, especially in areas where gusts could exceed 100 kilometers per hour behind the Mediterranean system. Stay aware, especially if you are in flood-prone areas. I'll continue tracking updates and reading your comments. Thank you for being part of this growing weather community. Stay safe and have a good rest of your day.